So my name is Amanda Mills. I am the Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions. I'm really happy to have so many guests joining today. We actually have guests registered from California, Colorado, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania. I saw all kinds of locations on there. If I missed your location, definitely put it in the Q&A. We'd love to know where everyone's from, obviously all over New York. I think I even saw a guest signed up from India, so we're definitely really excited that you're all here. I saw Maryland, North Carolina, Ohio, Washington State. So we're just really happy that you're taking time because this is a really important topic, especially whether you're admitted to Stony Brook. If you are, congratulations. And you're deciding, where do I go to college next August? Or if you're a prospective student thinking, hey, maybe this is a school I'll apply to in the future. And this is just a great way to kind of get an overview, not just about the meal plans, but about how we can support you if you do have any dietary restrictions or concerns. So without further ado, I will pass over the presentation to Laura.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. We're really excited for the upcoming year. So this presentation is about eating well with food allergies at Stony Brook University, and then we also have a meal planning discussion as well. So you get to know a whole lot about our SBU Eats campus dining program. Enter. Hold on, let me go to the next slide. Okay. So I am the campus dietitian at Stony Brook. I've been here for about 9 years now. So I help students navigate through the dining halls. I help promote wellness around campus, and really educate students on how to eat well on campus, where to go, and help to navigate their meal plan uh, that they have purchased. So it's a great opportunity to really get to know the food on campus, the menus. I also host a program called Teaching Kitchen, so students will learn how to cook around campus. So this is part of being a campus dietitian, and then Samantha Johnson will take over hers.
Hi, everyone. I'm Samantha Johnson. I am the Student Services Manager. I work directly in the meal plan department, so I am the one that's answering the emails, answering the phone calls, helping students navigate their meal plans, and just answering any questions that they have regarding their meal plans and how to use them.
All right.
So before I get into the different meal plan options, I just want to explain a couple key things. Meal plan requirements are dependent on your academic year and your housing status, but I will get into that a little bit more in detail later on in the presentation. But it's also important to know how the billing and accessing the meal plan actually works. The cost of the meal plan is charged directly to your tuition bill in Solar, and it can be paid off the same way you would pay your tuition and fees. And once everything is set, your meal plan is loaded directly onto your Stony Brook ID card before you actually arrive onto campus. So when you get here, you'll be able to just start swiping and using that meal plan as soon as possible. So as you can see on this page, there are several different meal plans available for the 26-27 academic year. Meal swipes are used at the East Side Dine-In and the West Side Dine-In halls, which are the all-you-care-to-eat dining locations. And dining dollars can be used at any SBU Eats food concept across campus. The SBU Premium Plan is the most extensive option that we have. It costs $3,986 per semester. The biggest benefit of this plan is the unlimited meal swipes. Along with that, it also includes 500 dining dollars, 54 meal exchanges that you can use at the Roth Cafe, and 10 guest swipes, so you can bring friends and family to dine in with you. Next is the Block 110 plan, which costs $3,130 per semester. And that provides you with 1,050 dining dollars along with 110 meal swipes. This plan is good because it offers a balance between those meal swipes and dining dollars, which makes it a pretty flexible option, especially for students who don't necessarily need the unlimited access to the dining hall locations. And then along with that, we have the 2,600 dining dollars plan, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's 2,600 dining dollars with no meal swipes. And similarly, the commuter 550 and the apartment 550 plans both offer $550 dining dollars and no meal swipes. And then finally, we have the budget plan, which is the prepaid option and requires a minimum of $20 to open. This is the only plan that's not charged to your tuition bill. Instead, you'll need to log into what's called the Get Mobile app. Information on the Get Mobile app and how to get signed up is on our website. But on that app, you'll add funds directly to your account using a debit or credit card, which is why it's considered the prepaid option. And I'm ready to go on to that next slide. So it's important to understand the meal plan requirements for resident students. All first-year students, including transfer students in their first year, are required to be enrolled in the SBU Premium Plan for their first and second semesters here on campus. Students living in residence halls without cooking facilities, which we refer to as non-cooking rooms, must choose to enroll in one of the 3 residential meal plans. So those 3 residential meal plans are the SBU Premium Plan, the Block 110 plan, and the 2,600 dining dollar plan. Transfer students who are sophomores or above can also choose to enroll in any of those 3 residential meal plans. They're not required to be enrolled in the SBU Premium Plan. But if no meal plan is selected by the start of the semester, you don't go in and choose which meal plan you'd like to be enrolled in. You will automatically be defaulted and enrolled in the SBU Premium Meal Plan. There are a lot of benefits to that premium meal plan. It offers, like I said, unlimited access to the East and West Side dining hall locations, which are the all-you-care-to-eat places on campus. This means that you can eat there as often as you'd like every single day. You have no limit as to how many times you swipe your card and enter into the dining hall. It also supports a wide range of dietary needs, including allergies, gluten-free options, and choices for kosher, halal, vegan, and vegetarian diets. Another major convenience is the reusable takeout container program, which allows you to take meals to go up to twice a day, which is great if you're a student on the go or if you just prefer to eat outside of the dining hall locations. And finally, this plan includes those 54 meal exchanges at the Roth Cafe, which gives you additional flexibility with the preset menu options. These meal exchanges can be used at Subway, Smash and Shake, and Savor. So overall, these meal plans are designed to be convenient and flexible, with the SBU Premium Plan making sure that first-year students have reliable dining options as they settle into campus life. I'm ready for the next slide.
Okay.
So just to give you a quick overview, SBU Eats includes 2 main dining hall locations, the East Side Dining Hall and the West Side Dining Hall, where you can use those meal swipes. There are also a bunch of other retail spots on campus, including the Rock Cafe, the Saks, Starbucks, Dunkin', Jasmine, different food trucks on campus, plenty of different options that all accept those dining dollars. But as we know, dining isn't one size fits all. So I will hand it over to Laura, who will talk more about food allergies, dietary needs, and how students can find meal plan options that work for them on campus.
Yeah, thank you. So just to continue on that, so we do handle a wide range of food allergy requests on campus, whether it's a food allergy, whether it's intolerances, celiac disease, and anything medically you need a therapeutic diet for, like diabetes, PKU, alpha-gal syndrome is definitely on the rise, so we will handle those requests as well. And like Samantha said, so we do have options, halal options, kosher options, and we also have plant-based options within our dining halls. We have an icon system, which I'll go over a little bit later. But halal and kosher are available upon request, but also they're located within our menus as well. Plant-based options. We have a station called Rooted, which is within both of our East and West dining halls, and that's on opposite side of the campus. So this one station will be a composed dish of plant-based proteins, excluding any animal products, including honey. But it's a great option to allow students, if they don't consume any meat, this is a great composed dish that will be able to help satisfy and get your protein needs in both sides of the campus. We also have two icons, vegan and vegetarian. So even in our retail locations, we will be able to accommodate plant-based eating, halal and kosher as well. All of our menus are listed on Nutrislice. So if you want to scan that QR code, that can lead you to our menuing system. The menus are completed by our SBU Eats culinary team. They're available for debut the first week of school within August. I load the menus about a week before so the students can get to know what type of meal options will be available, especially within the first weeks of school. Nutrislice is our digital solution for online menus, but it also will connect to our digital screens, our digital labeling systems, our mobile ordering, and also our online menus, so students can look at all this information before they go into the dining halls. Um, I'll go into it a little bit a little bit later. So one of the features of Nutrislice is it does filter out for food allergens. So it does filter out for the top 9 FDA declared food allergies, but it also is able to filter out any vegan, vegetarian, plant-based, eat well options, and any kosher, halal, locally sourced options as well. It's a great place for students to learn the menus, but it also provides the ingredients and all their macronutrients and micronutrient informations, and also descriptions as well. So if a student's wanting to wants to eat well, wants to lose some weight, wants to count their macros, Nutrislice is the place where it'll house all that information to make those educated decisions and choices. So the allergens that we do declare on campus, we do wheat, fish, shellfish, peanut, tree nuts, sesame milk, soy, and eggs. So these are the first top 9. Anything additional, any allergens outside of the top 9 will be listed in the ingredient lists. This way, because we don't have to list them, but at least there'll be information with the other potential allergens in the ingredient list over on Nutrislice. So we also do a lot of avoiding gluten for celiac disease or non-sensitive gluten intolerance, but we do have a lot of options to swap out the gluten product for the non-gluten-free product. So we have soy sauce, we have gluten-free soy sauce at our delis and grills. We have gluten-free breads. We do bring in the Udi's breads, but that does contain eggs. So if a student does have an egg allergy and a gluten allergy, we'll bring in another product to make sure that you can have a deli sandwich or a grill sandwich. We have flour tortillas, which we can swap out for corn tortillas. We have gluten-free pasta. We have a gluten-free pizza, and the chefs are always happy and willing to make anything to your customized needs. Today we brought in actually gluten-free chicken nuggets, so the list is always enhancing as we continue on. So on top of every station, there are these digital labels with a QR code that will lead your student directly to the menu. It's a great way to really understand the food option, but also a great way to know right then and there what's in your food. It's always best to always ask a manager before consumption if something does change last minute or products were changed, especially if there's a food allergy related question. It's always best to get into the practice of asking a manager before consuming the food. The managers are always on the floor. The culinary team is always on the floor. So it's really getting that communication up between our staff to really be educated about what you're going to make decisions on to eat for the day. Ingredient experts. I am the ingredient expert on campus. So if you have any questions with the types of products, the menus, I'll be able to source any additional ingredients to the processes, the culinary aspects, to really answer the questions about each and every food item on campus. And then also nutritional information as well. If you have any questions about, allocating macronutrients for weight loss or weight gain, adding protein, I can help with that as well. So the one thing I like to encourage is to students when they first come on is really getting to know your resources around campus. So I am the campus dietitian, but each of the locations have their own executive chef and culinary team. They have their own ingredient experts, and then they have their own directors and managers. So everybody, there's a whole lot. There's a huge, everyone is all the managers and the culinary team is part of the SBU Eats team. So everybody is fully aware of their menus and what they're serving for the day, and because we want to make sure that you get what you need, and we want to make sure that you're also eating safe and comfortable within our dining hall. So upon admission, if there is a food allergy that you have to make sure you manage on campus, getting to know your resources is definitely the first start. And I'll talk about that in the next few slides. So the first part is meeting with me, because I'm going to help you find and locate your allergens all around campus. I'm also going to develop a personalized menu plan with you. So I'm going to gather your likes and dislikes, develop kind of backup meals, backup menus, to allow you to have an easy transition to coming to campus. I'm going to make sure that you meet the culinary team, you know your resources, and really get those conversations going on campus, because one thing I don't want is students to stress when they come onto campus. It's a new environment, it's new, new feelings, new everything. So the best and the most thing that I want to make sure we cover is your food allergies and knowing where to eat. And then also within that first week, especially the first week in school, there's a lot of parties and caterings. I have access to all that information to make sure that your allergens are covered on campus. And then once you get to know me and get to know my team, you'll be able to make your own decisions and transition really well into the campus. So one of the features that we have on campus is we don't have a separate allergen kitchen, and it's because of just how all the dining halls are laid out. But one of the things that we have is the customized allergen request form. But what this will do is this is a communication piece that will communicate your food allergy to the culinary team, and they'll be able to customize a meal for you based on your requests. So whether it's a gluten-free sandwich, whether it's a sauce without any wheat in it, whether it's an egg, it's an omelet that needs to be a tofu omelet because you have allergy to egg. We're able to customize any option for you to accommodate your food allergies. I really enjoy this piece because it provides a sense of communication, but also a sense of you're working with the team to get your food and get your allergens covered. One of the things, like I said before, is I don't want the students to stress. So this is a piece that will help increase that communication, increase that a student's feeling of comfort within the dining hall. Students have, I've been doing this for a very long time, and the students really like the one-on-one with the culinary team to get that extra care as well. Each of these are located within the purple binder, as we call it on campus. And it's right in the front, so students can always fill this out if they have any questions. But what this also will do is prompt the culinary team to make your items separate if need be. We're able to use separate utensils, separate cookware, and everything separate to decrease the risk of cross contact. This is a great way to really to have everything separate and to utilize a food that's not already been touched by students, or may have been cross contact within the cooking process along the kitchen. So this is one of the things that I recommend and I really encourage all students with allergies do, because it's a way to make sure that their allergens are covered around campus. The purple kits, they are located all around campus as well. So these are kits that they have it's a separate cookware, pots, pans, cutting boards. It allows for any or recipe or sandwich can be built on this, and it's not in contact with the other parts of the kitchen. It's a way to help to decrease and to limit all cross contamination. It's a nice way to it's a nice feature to allow for students to really utilize on campus. And we're always updating and improving our allergens management on campus. So this is a nice way to get everything customized and really dedicated to whatever your preferences are. I just want to encourage that. So safety is our first priority. So I know it may not be cool or fun or exciting to ask a manager for help, but it's always 100% recommended. I encourage that dialogue between the culinary team and myself and the management team, especially when food allergies are related, because we want to make sure you do feel comfortable within dining hall, because this is your new home. So I want to make sure that you are comfortable and you know where to go at all times of the day, between 7 o'clock in the morning all the way up to late night. So each meal period that you have, that will flow into each other, is taken care of, and you're able to find something to eat. And then just another, we do work with FAIR. So we take their trainings every year, and every 6 months before the semester starts, we take more trainings, be just to make sure that food allergies are at the forefront of the conversation. Just a few best practices. So looking ahead on Nutrislice is a great way to see what we have going on. So for example, we may have some special nights that shellfish is involved in the menu. So if you have a shellfish allergy, we can find somewhere else that you can consume your dinner or your lunch. We can make sure that we prepare you things separately, but we can help you navigate to somewhere else around campus, to make sure that you're not in contact with the shellfish. Speaking with the campus dietitian, which is myself, and it's the best way to help learn how to navigate throughout the dining hall. And then scanning the QR code, like I said, and that on the digital labels will help you see the rest of the information that is within the product as well. So last year, this is a year old now, but last year, coconut has been removed from, and some other nuts have been removed from the tree nut and peanut the tree nut list. But within West Side Dining, that is our nut sensitive facility, so we don't bring in products that contain nuts or tree nuts within them. So coconut is now removed, so we're able to utilize that. And then, but East Side, there we don't bring in nuts as well, but we do have places they will have nuts, which is the Dunkins, the Pete's, the Starbucks, any nut-based milks, Carvel, and the markets will have packaged products of nuts. So I'm able to tell you on campus where every allergen containing option is, so you can avoid it, or you can go somewhere else, or we can provide you a swap as well. So another thing that we have on campus is online ordering for gluten, because nobody wants a rock solid pasta dish, because if you know, as gluten-free pasta sits there for a long time, it gets like a rock. So we offer this feature on Nutrislice that if you want to order in advance, because I do understand that it does take time and to grab a chef and to grab and fill out the form. So having this option is a good way to order ahead of time. So if you wanted a cauliflower pizza, you could place your order on Nutrislice, and then you can swipe in to dine in, and get these options for you as well. We have gluten-free pastas, burger wraps, sandwiches, cauliflower pizza, and it does take a time to order ahead of time, but ordering ahead of time can help decrease the wait time for a meal. So it is definitely a nice feature as we move forward. And then, so what's around campus? So in general, right, we have so if you're avoiding wheat and gluten, we have brown rice, we have potatoes, we have gluten-free products. If you want some extra protein, we have grilled chicken, turkey burgers. We have additional plant-based protein. I've added extra seeds at the salad bar to get some protein in there. So those are some options. Salads and fruits. We have salad stations on both sides. Actually, all the dining hall have salad in there. So if you're interested in increasing your vegetable intake, that's a great option. Delancey Street is our kosher kitchen. So if you do have a milk allergy, it's a non-dairy kitchen. So if a milk allergy is part of your allergen list, that may be a great option to consume your meal out of there, because religiously they can't have milk in there. Rooted is our plant-based option, like I said in the beginning. So it does not contain any animal products. So that avoids the fish, the shellfish, egg, and milk. So it's a nice way to have it's a nice station that you're not putting those ingredients in there. So it's an option to take that station, add some grilled chicken to it, so it can accommodate some of those allergens as well. So we do have separate fryers. So we have a separate gluten-free fryer. So any fries will be separate from any chicken tenders, breaded products. So that's a special request because we want to make sure that we allocate that fryer to all those fries, only students that need it. But that's a decent option as well. And then we have other oils. So some of the oils will be listed on Nutrislice. So if you're curious about where the oils are and all the different types of oils around campus, I can help you with that. And then as we continue on in August, there's more updates. And then just last but not least, catering as well. So catering happens all over campus. So if you're interested in what you're eating at a catering event, I have all of the information that can provide you with the information to make your decision whether to eat that product or not. So reaching out to the catering team or myself can help can help you navigate through a catering party or event that you may go to in the first weeks of school or throughout the weeks. And then we have gluten-free options as well. And if any special needs, we can accommodate those as well. And then so if you want to book an appointment, the top QR code is just to book an appointment for fall. There's meal planning's email address on there, and then the bottom QR is for Nutrislice. So if you want to take a look around in there, you can scan that. And if you have any questions, you can definitely reach out.
Thank you both so much.
Yeah.
We have some excellent questions coming in. So everyone was very much paying attention and wanting to see like a little more information, which is great. And I forgot to mention that we do have some pre-submitted questions, so we'll make sure to cover those as well. So don't worry, we'll try to get to everyone's questions. The
Mhm.
first question that we have, and you kind of touched a little bit on halal options, but could you just talk a little bit more about what are some of them, maybe the locations?
Yeah. So we have so within our dining hall, East and West Dine-In, we have halal chicken, halal burgers, halal hot dogs. Also within East Side Dining, we have a place called Halal New York, which is the entire station is halal. We also have a halal food truck on campus as well. So if you're across campus, that halal food truck may be a little bit closer to walk to. But we have within and within our grab and go options as well, we'll have halal chicken. We will state on our menus when it's halal chicken or halal turkey. On our deli stations, actually within East and West Dining, we have halal turkey as well. We have halal diced chicken at the salad bar, and then halal diced turkey at the salad bar as well. And then anytime that we are able to use halal chicken within our chef's table, which with our main meal, we'll communicate that that's been halal chicken.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, so we have a question about the cost to eat at dine-in if you don't have dining swipes. I'm guessing that'll vary based on the product, but maybe some examples?
Yeah, so the dine-in, the swipe in, if Samantha, you want to do the pricing?
Yeah, definitely. I'm
Yeah.
just pulling it up here. So it depends on what time of day and what day of the week, whether you're there during a weekday or on a weekend, that cost. While the 2026-27 prices haven't been finalized and posted yet, I'll give you the prices for this current, I mean 26-27. I'm sorry, I'll give you the prices for the current 25-26 academic year, just as a reference. But the meal periods are broken up between breakfast, lunch, and dinner during the week, Monday through Friday. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, we have brunch options too. So the breakfast price is in from 7:30 a.m. until 11 a.m. That cost is $9.10. The lunch and brunch prices is $15.60. And the dinner price is $16.65. And then we do also offer Monday through Friday. We offer after 10 p.m. the late night price, which is $10.90. So you can pay this using dining dollars. If you're not on a meal plan and still want to enter the dining hall locations, you can pay with a debit or credit card too. So you have a bunch of different options in order to access the dining halls. You're not required to just use those meal swipes.
That's great. Thank you. And another similar question, you had mentioned that there's a requirement if you're residing on campus to have a specific meal plan, but what if you are a commuter, you're not going to live on campus, first year or otherwise, could you have a meal plan? And are there any specific requirements if you're not living on campus?
Sure. So commuter students have no meal plan requirements at all. All meal plan signups are completely optional for commuter students. So we do offer those residential meal plans, which I've noticed can be a lot for commuter students. By all means, commuter students have the option to sign up if they're here often. They're here Monday through Friday all day, and they'll know they'll be eating a lot. But a lot of commuter students do utilize that commuter $550 dining dollar plan. And if they do realize that they're running short on dining dollars, they can add additional funds on the Get mobile app. So they can sign up at any point throughout the semester. There's no deadline to sign up or anything like that. They can sign up at any point, and then they can also add funds if they realize that they're running low.
That's great. That was the follow-up question. How do you add dining dollars to each of the
Yeah.
plans if you're running low?
Yeah.
And is that a free app?
It is a free app.
Okay.
All of the information on that Get app is on the meal plan website. So I always tell students if you just go onto Google and type in Stony Brook meal plan, it's the very first link that pops up, and they'll see information about all the meal plans, and they'll also see information on that Get mobile app as well.
And when did you think the price it would be like the 2026-27 academic year plans would be adjusted maybe in the summer?
So the plan pricing is active. What we're waiting on are those door rate prices to enter the dining hall locations. So we have two tabs on our meal plan website right now. We have the current 25-26 meal plan prices, and then you can get a preview for the 26-27 academic year. But the only thing that we're waiting on are those door rates to be finalized and published.
Okay, great. And menus as well, right?
Yes,
They
Yep.
correct.
update every
Yep.
year. And
Yep.
so this is probably a Laura question. You did talk a little bit about if you have a milk allergy or sensitivity, that there were options, but are there alternative milk drinking options or foods made with alternative milks on
Yes.
campus?
All around campus, within our dine-ins, we have it's called I think they call it a cow, but and maybe that's an old one. I forget the name of it, but it's this it's a station that has oat milk, pea milk, and soy milk. And you're able to get those plant-based milks through them. And that's an East and West dine-in. And then we also have the plant-based milks if near at every coffee shop as well, or any place where you can get coffee.
Oh, great. So even like the Starbucks, Dunkin'
Yep.
Donuts, and is there still, there was another, what was the West Side Dining coffee shop? Wasn't there like
Pete's.
a
Pete's Coffee.
Pete's Coffee, right? I
Yeah.
always forget.
Yep.
And is there still like the gelato place? I remember when it first opened, they had like they were making gelato there. I know that's not coffee related, but
No, but I think that was a really long, I'm not sure. I think that was a long time ago.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
But they
Just,
have
just
but pizza's
checking.
a great way to get breakfast sandwiches. But it's a nice little place. Kind of like if you're on the west side of campus, it's a nice way to kind of walk through and get pick up your bagel. They have pizza bagels there. I do have vegan cheese there. If you do have we do have vegan cheese around campus too. So if you want to build a salad, we have options for vegan cheese. So
Okay, that's great.
any place around campus will have a vegan option or a plant-based option that runs parallel with the animal product.
And you mentioned late nights,
Hmm.
all different dining hours at different locations. How accessible is food, weekdays, weekends, evenings, mornings?
Yeah, so dine-in opens at 7:30. Maybe 7 o'clock. 7:30 sounds like that's a good time. And then that goes to about 11. And then 11 o'clock it switches from it's from breakfast to lunch. And then it switches at 4 o'clock for dinner. That goes till 10 o'clock, and then late night starts from 10 to 12. Roth is open till 12. SAC closes at 9. The hours are posted online, so the students are able to see what's open and closed. But there it continued like the dine-ins, East and West dine-in. It'll once it opens at 7:30 in the morning, it doesn't close till midnight. And then we have food trucks all around campus, so they're stationed to a certain time. SAC will close around 9. So there's definitely options for students to consume later in the evening. And their
Oh,
markets are
that's
open
good.
as well. So if they can't find that, there's always markets open that they can grab a snack.
Oh, that's excellent. Um, so just to follow up on the milk question, are there any nut-based milks anywhere on campus that you know?
So there are nut-based milks only in Pete's, Starbucks, and Dunkin'. We don't bring in products with nuts within our dining locations. The retail locations I can't fight with because it's part of their retail menu. But there are no nut-based milks within East and West Dine-In at SAC within that coffee spot over at SAC. But all the franchises they will have the nuts. Same thing. Same thing though. They will speak with the manager, and they'll be able to make sure that your nut drink is not also frothed with another drink. So they'll be
Got
able to
it.
make sure that everything is done separately.
That's great. Thank you. Another question, probably for Samantha, maybe. Does the price change based on how you pay?
For the dining hall locations, um, dining dollars are tax exempt. So if you're going anywhere on campus and paying with dining dollars, you will not pay any sort of sales tax. If you're paying the dining hall location to swipe in with a debit or credit card or across campus, you will pay that sales tax. And I believe Wolfie Wallet too. Wolfie Wallet is another form of payment on campus. It's very similar to Dining Dollars. It's another prepaid option where students can go onto the Get app and add those Wolfie Wallet funds. The difference though is that you do pay tax as well on Wolfie Wallet. So we do encourage students if they're planning to eat on campus to put dining dollars onto their account because there are a lot of benefits to it and they won't pay any sort of sales tax or anything like that.
Yeah, that's great.
Mhm.
So I know, Laura, you mentioned that incoming students could make an appointment to meet with you. Would that be virtually, in person, on the phone? What are the opportunities or options to connect with you?
Yeah, so it would be virtual unless you're touring the campus, of course. It'll be virtual until you get onto campus. We can talk weekly, we can set up a plan. I encourage students that if they are coming to campus to virtually meet with me before they're on to campus. This way I can give them a base and I get to know what their allergens are and I know what allergens are going to come into our dining halls. And this way, and then I can let the chefs know as well. I can communicate that we're gonna have we have these allergens, make sure we have food available. And then I always encourage when you get as soon as you get on the campus is to book an appointment and then I'll give you a tour of your dining hall that's closest to your dorm. I know the move-in weekend is a little bit hectic and that week leading up to it is a little hectic, but I always encourage for them to meet me right away once you put your bags down and to bring your family around so they know where you're eating as well because I'm sure the parents are also concerned and to leave your child on a new place. So I always encourage them to meet the staff, meet the team as well so they know the ins and outs.
That actually brings up a great point. So during the kind of welcome weeks,
Hmm.
and as new students are moving on campus, there are some kind of big events that are for everyone. Are there
Hmm.
options to kind of pre-plan for those in case, I'm online at the
Yeah.
outdoor buffet.
Yeah, and that happens all the time too. So if I the best and I can't I can I really encourage for students to reach out to me and say, I'm headed towards this barbecue, like help me. I'm available by text or email. I have my phone's on me constantly, and I have other people working with me to make sure that things are covered. Yes, at the time of an event, there's somebody leading that event, and that person has booked a catering order, right? So within at the time of event, it's you also can ask for something, but we always have the gluten free. But some we don't put cheese in it. But if you have a conflicting allergen, if you can't have gluten and you can't have, I'm gonna and you can't have vegetables, right? I want to make sure that there is something there for you to have. So it's always best to reach out ahead of time. As I know you can't catch it, but even if you send me a text saying I'm heading this way, what's there. I have all the information as to what events are going out for that week as well.
Perfect. And so the East and West dining, just to restate, those are completely nut free.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Nut
perfect.
sensitive. We can't say nut free
Right.
because we don't know. We do know our vendors, so that's just a good point. So we do know our vendor. We do know where it comes from, but they're not required to tell us last minute if things have changed or if their lines have changed. We know our vendors, so we have a good relationship with them. So they will let us know if something has changed. But for our dessert line, sometimes we bring in products from the outside vendors, and they don't have to tell us. So. We do allergen testing to confirm that the allergens are not within those products. But we just and if that's the case, we'll make you a dessert in house to make sure that you have a dessert for that meal.
Oh, that's great. So I can kind of answer this. So for first year students and students who might be in either in the honors college specifically, what locations are kind of first year students typically near and honors specifically as
Yeah,
well? Do you know?
I think East Side Dining. I don't think that has changed in a while, but I think they're putting all the first year students with over East Side Dining.
Yeah.
Samantha, do you know? I think
That's my understanding too.
yeah,
I
I think
think
they
most of the freshman housing is basically connected to that East Side dining hall.
yeah.
Yeah. And I know, are they still, I don't know, what's closest to Yang Hall?
Where's Yang?
I think it's over
Is that
by
by H?
West.
Is that I don't know where Yang is. There's so
Okay.
many.
I know. Yeah. So
I'm
that's
not
why
sure.
it's better to really reach out to you directly if once
Yeah.
you know where you're living on campus, and
Yeah.
then you'll look at the map and kind of
Yeah.
say, oh, here, we're going to look at this location.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had a question. Looks like, let's see. Oh, yeah. You talked about labeling
Hmm.
and and being able to use the app to kind of pre-see information
Yep.
about all of the allergens, but also calories, carbs,
Hmm.
macros, all of that.
Yep. Yeah, so all that so the image that I showed way back these are located over every menu item that we have around campus. So you're able to scan that QR code and it'll lead you to the additional information on Nutrislice. You also can look ahead on Nutrislice. So if you scan this QR code, this bottom one, it'll show you the menus that we have currently online right now. But it'll give you all the information ahead of time as well. So there's two opportunities to learn what's in the menu items before you walk in, during you walk in, and then if you have additional questions, our staff is there to help.
That is so great. Thank you both for a really informative session. We always get great feedback when we hear about all of the wonderful things that we're able to do to help alleviate some of the
Mhm.
stress about going away to a new place to eat new food potentially. And so we really appreciate the time that you've taken today. We have a comment for you that this was very informative and helpful, so
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Mhm.
And any kind of final thoughts as we end about, the starting a new place, a new experience, and any advice for kind of a smooth transition?
Yeah. I mean, so one thing is, communicate before, because it's going to get a little hectic in the first 2 weeks, is because you're not going to know your schedule just quite yet and your pathway and your walking pathways and your school pathways. Well, first of all, enjoy your summer, and then enjoy the final moments. And then when you come to campus, just really reach out and communicate because we're really here to help and to answer any questions and to help you navigate. And then before you know it, you're going to graduate, and then that's it. So, so before you know it, so it goes quick.
It does go quick. And I always tell students, don't be afraid to ask questions. Anyone that you see working on campus, they might look like they work on campus, anyone wearing any kind of a badge, don't be afraid to ask those questions. Everyone here is always very willing to help, happy to help in any way that they can. So I
Mhm.
think that's super important to students.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I did post in the chat that we have the session recorded, so it will be available if you want to rewatch any parts of it or kind of relook at some of the slides. You can always call or email the undergraduate admissions office. We can either connect you to this information or just kind of find those resources if you're having trouble. But we really do appreciate everything, all the questions that everyone had, and we hope everyone got the answers that they needed. Thank you, both Samantha and Laura, and have
Yeah.
a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, thank you.
Bye, everybody.